Okay, I think we're good. We're live a little late today, a little hectic, a little rushed, but you know that's going to be a good show when that happens. I think we have a nice. How big is the slate today, Chris? You were here before me.
It's 6. I think it's 6 on Draftkings, 5 on Fanduel. Fanduel didn't include the early game, the 7 p.m. game, so that's good. Just because I don't really want to manage through the Miami Philly game on both sites. So I'm glad we only have to do it on DK.
Yep. Yeah, kind of in a rush. Me, a little hectic, but I think I skipped my housekeeping. As always, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Crunch Time. This is the show where you get the best DFS picks each and every day. 2.5 hours before the main slate. We never take a day off. Even on Christmas, we were here at like 7 a.m., 6 a.m. Woke up early to get the show done. That's not going to stop. Yeah, so as always, join with Chris, a.k.a. chrissair DFS. I think we talked about how big the slate is, but how are you doing today, Chris? How are you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. Just got off a call with an important call, so that went okay. Yeah, I'm excited for the slate, as I said.
Okay. More housekeeping. If you guys have been here before, be sure to press like. That helps us out a lot with the discoverability. So do that. Also, if you've been here before and you know our content, you probably like it. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell button, hit all, so you get notified when we go live. That's a good thing to do. Next, housekeeping. As always, we go through the show using our optimizer at dfscrunch.com. So you get everything you see us use in this show. We have a 3-day free trial. Lots of sports, lots of stuff there. So be sure to check that out. First, housekeeping of the success posts. I think, let me load those up. First one we have.
Just before you go on, I saw a stat like 60% of the viewers here aren't subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button. And then one thing I just want to, you gotta stop saying housekeeping. You said it like 10 times in the past minute. Just maybe keep it down to 1 or 2 per show.
Yeah, well, yeah, thanks for calling me out there. As I said, a little frazzled, a little late. It's a little hard here with only one monitor, like getting everything on the screen the right way for the show. So definitely a little rush today. I think that's why. I'm usually a bit better with that. Let's go. No more housekeeping. Okay, Chris, first success, Kubaka here, second place. Esports, big one. League of Legends, LPL. You know more of that, Chris. What do you see here? I guess we don't have the lineup,
so LPL is back. Our projections are up, obviously. Kubaka is always sharp with League. He was crushing before when all the other sports were down. So our League projections are up. And I've played some on Fanduel. It's been good so far. So definitely, if you're not playing League, if you're up late at night, that's definitely something that's pretty enjoyable for me to do when I am up late at night.
Yep. Yeah, Hasty loves the organic feel of this show, Chris, so you got to back off there. Next one we have Turn and Burn, NBA.
I want to touch on you picked out the comment that favored you. You didn't pick out the one that said, "Let's go, guys, no more housekeeping." I'm definitely with you, Justin. Also, thanks for subbing. But yeah, definitely we gotta keep the housekeeping down. The people want to see the show, to go over the games, to go over some of our favorite picks. Yeah, definitely a little less housekeeping from your end.
I feel like right now you've already caught up with that word. You've already said it more than me. But anyway, back to the content, back to why everyone's here. Turn and Burn, what do you see here, Chris?
Yeah, this is just nice stuff. Turn and Burn always wins pretty much. Yeah, so shout out to Turn and Burn.
Yeah, you're spot on there. Like, he always wins. I don't know how he does it. Like, Kubaka, Turn and Burn, they every once in a while, like, they get like a nice takedown. It's just like a matter of when, not if. Like, as I always say, it's like it's part-time DFS, full-time results. That's what you'd like to see. Consume the crunch content, use our optimizer, use our projections, add in your little touch, and you get some good full-time results. Next up, Weaver. What do you see here, Chris? Obviously, production quality a little bit poor. I think this is the NBA piggy bank, I think the top one he got was 320, 250. I can't make it out, but the score I can see 346.8.
I mean, the main thing here is I just want to give another shout out to Weaver. He was going through it all throughout yesterday. He was high on the Raptors. A lot of games busted early, so there were a ton of blowouts. But yeah, Weaver was on the Raptors. That was very sharp. Yeah, so he's definitely getting better with the optimizer.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of a learning curve with it. Not too hard, but the community always has each other's back. We always help each other. So if you're a member, we got you covered. We'll help you out. You'll do well. Just do your homework. Always do your homework. Study up, practice, all that stuff. Okay, so do you want to just jump right into the slate then, Chris?
Yeah, so we did this 2 shows ago. I think it's a good idea if I just give like a quick slate overview before we jump into the games.
Yeah,
I'll do that. We have a 6-gamer on DK. On Fanduel, it's only 5. As I mentioned at the start of the show, they didn't include the Heat Sixers game just because it's going to be such a we're going to have a bunch of picks there. If it was included, sorry, we're going to have a bunch on DK. A bunch of guys are out. It's the first game we'll go through, so I guess we can start there. And then one more thing I'll touch on. The two of my favorite games here tonight are Denver versus Brooklyn and Indiana versus Golden State. They have the highest over-under, around 230. We got 2 games in the 220s as well, and then 2 in the 210s. So, yeah, those are my favorite games.
Yep. Justin is actually coming from my job, so I gotta be careful. I gotta be on time. Gotta be a bit sharper, so I'll step it up. Okay, first game then. We can jump right into it. We have Utah against Cleveland. Let me load it up on both sites here.
No, come on, you gotta be sharper than that.
Right.
Yeah. So we gotta start with the Miami Philly game. It's only on DK. It's the early start time. Yeah, so that's what we gotta go through first.
Yeah, I definitely have to be a bit sharper. Right about that. Okay, Miami side, lots of people out here. Haslam, Adebayo, Harkless, Butler all out for them. Vincent probable. Bradley out. Leonard questionable. Yeah, none. Dragic out for them. Kelly Olynyk probable. Who's left here, Chris?
So we could just click on Miami. We can show who we have in there, as we always do. Yeah. So we have the main guys here. It's gonna be Kelly O. It's gonna be Tyler Hero. Got some interest in Iggy as well. Obviously this game is only on DK, so we'll only talk about DK for this one. Yeah. So I guess we can start with cash games. We're gonna have a bunch of heat here, a bunch of guys out. So that's what we like to see in cash games. Cheap salaries here. My favorite guy is Tyler Hero. He should be an absolute usage hog here. 6'7". It's not what we're used to paying for him, but with everyone out, not everyone, but their main guys out, Dragic, Butler, people like that, Hero just jumps into the main guy role. So I love Hero in tournaments, on DK, in cash games. I'm all over it. 6.7 really works for me. Next guy here, let's talk about Kelly O. I also think Kelly O is too cheap here. 5.3K. No Bam Adebayo either. So Kelly O he'll get the start. And he should crush in these minutes. He's always been a decent fantasy point per minute guy. I expect him to get at least 32, maybe 34 here. So I love Kelly O in both formats as well. Next guy, Andre Iguodala. Iggy's a little interesting. I don't think he has exactly a high ceiling, but really good floor for him. 3.3K. Just really works in cash games for me. Probably not my favorite tournament play, but yeah. And then, let's see, another guy I'll mention, Precious Achiuwa. I'll just call him Precious.
Yeah, you got to stop trying to pronounce the names, Chris.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good this season. I don't know. I like him. I think he's a solid big for them, pretty active. Should see probably, I would predict, like 26 to 30 minutes. He's only seen minutes in the teens so far this year, so if you're looking at the game log, it hasn't been too pretty, but we're paying like... What are we paying for him? 3.1K, so that's a lock for me. Both formats, I think he'll get the start here. Just jump into that Bam Adebayo role, so he'll have the ball a lot. He'll be able to distribute a little bit. Good block and steal guy. So I do like Precious a lot in both formats. And then one last guy I'll mention here is Myers Leonard. He might get the start. I think it's going to be Precious, not Myers Leonard. But if it's Myers Leonard, I have no problem with him in cash games. He's minimum price, 3K. Probably don't love him in tournaments just because I don't see a ceiling here, but definitely a really strong cash play.
Yep. Yeah, apparently, we just got some news about Kyrie. Still out for personal reasons. I just got word of that. Ben Simmons, I think I just saw Ben Simmons is playing today, but now I see probable. I'm not sure if you saw that, Chris.
Yeah, so probable we always take as they're in. So
yeah, I mean, I think before that I saw he's playing. I had one that was playing, but yeah, probable now. Okay, I think. Do you want to go over the Sixers then? We played a bunch of them yesterday, right? They were quite chalky. Is it more or less the same guys? Who do we have back now? We have Simmons.
Here's Simmons back, so that's pretty big for them. Yeah, we'll go over them and then I can mention more things.
Yeah. Do you want me to go through the injuries then again for them, or just do you want to go through who we have left?
Yeah. So I guess I'll do it. So we have Simmons back today. Other than that, we have the same rotation. A lot of guys missing, but Simmons back kind of hurts the value, guys. Maxey is priced up to 5.5. Don't expect him to be in play at all anymore, just with Simmons back. The thing with this game is it has the second lowest over-under. It's at 211 right now. Philly is favored by 8, so I don't love that. They pulled Embiid early yesterday, so just probably because it's a back-to-back, they wanted him to be fresh for this game because that one was over in the third quarter. So he only played 23 minutes, put up 41 fantasy points, so that was nice. I mean, not too nice, but I had him in a ton of my lineups, so actually the blowout wasn't nice. But it's nice for today just because we know he should see a normal amount of minutes in a tight game. So yeah, I like Embiid a lot in tournaments. In cash games, I don't mind him as a last piece. I probably prefer guys like Curry, guys like Sabonis, but I really like Embiid in tournaments today. He'll probably go a little under-owned. And then I love Simmons as well in tournaments. 8.9K. Maybe people don't want to pay up for that. He had the knee injury, so people might be scared off of that. But I think he sees probably 36 minutes here. It's going to be the Simmons and Embiid show. They don't really have anyone else that's going to touch the ball too much. So, yeah, I have a lot of interest in both of these guys in tournaments. I don't have interest in value guys like Maxey, Green, Matthias anymore. I think the Heat give us much better value than the Sixers here today. So, yeah, definitely prefer the Heat as cash game value.
Yeah. I guess Hasty's saying about the Indiana Golden State game, he's saying Sabonis is going to teach young Wiseman a thing or two tonight. Do you want to leave that for later when we get into that game, Chris?
Yeah, well, Sabonis he's on our cover today. He's on the thumbnail, so he's definitely going to teach young Wiseman a thing or two tonight.
Well, actually, on the cover image, you put two guys today. We've never had that before. That's kind of breaking news.
We actually had it the first day with Kyrie and KD, but yeah, they're both in really good spots. Obviously, we'll go over that later. Hasty says, Precious a lock, 3,100. Yeah, I really like Precious. Even if he's not starting, 3,100 is just too cheap. Only concern with him is foul trouble against Embiid, but I don't know. I think he can handle it. Maybe they start Myers just to match up with Embiid, Myers Leonard, but I like Precious regardless. Trigger says this game is a crap show. Who's guarding Simmons and Embiid? Probably someone like Myers Leonard, someone like Kellyo. Precious will guard Embiid. For Simmons, probably someone like Iggy. Yeah, I assume Iggy will be the main guy on Simmons.
Yep. Okay, let's jump into the game. I was a little too eager to jump into at the start. Utah against Cleveland over there. Utah side, Ingles questionable. Morgan Brantley out for them. Favors probable. And starters right now we have Mike Conley, Mitchell, Bogdanovich, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert. What do you think of this game today? Cleveland's on the second half of the back-to-back.
Yeah, so for this game, this This is the lowest over/under on the slate. It's at 208. Utah's favored by 12, so I don't have too much interest here. These guys aren't really. No one on Utah is in play for me on DraftKings. You can take some shots on someone like Mitchell in tournaments. I never mind that. He's 8.4, so it's definitely a pay up for him. If this game somehow stays close, then you could get a ceiling game out of Mitchell at super low ownership, but definitely not my favorite play. I think these guys are a little better over on FanDuel. Someone like Rudy Gobert, I like him at center today. Center is pretty thin over on FanDuel, so if you want to pay $8K for Gobert against the Cavs here, I don't hate it. Should see like 34, 36 minutes matched up against Drummond, so it's a pretty good matchup for him, but I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on these guys. Just I don't have really any interest.
Yeah, as Thomas would say, Rudy is a rock, so I'm pretty sure he likes Rudy today. Henry says this game is gross. Thomas
This
says
is definitely the worst game on the slate.
Yeah, Thomas says Dotson. He likes Dotson. Hasty says Ingles' Ironman streak is over. Utah will smash these guys.
Yeah, Ingles had like a streak of 600. It was snapped. I believe 2 games ago. He came back last game, so I expect him to play today.
Yep. Okay, let's go over Cleveland then. We have Kevin Porter injured, Drummond questionable, Garland, Windler, Sexton, Dellavedova all out for them. Projected starters right now we have Dotson, Okoro, Chetty Osman, one of our favorite players here on the show, Larry Nance Jr., and Andre Drummond if he's in. What do you think the chances of Drummond playing are right now? Do we have any idea right now, or are we just going to wait for that a bit more?
So with questionable, I usually say 50-50, but I don't know. For some reason, I kind of feel he's going to play. Center is kind of thin, so I hope he plays. I think he fits lineups on both sides, so I don't know. I think I would like it if he plays. If he's out, obviously we'll have some value. Probably guys like JaVale McGee. More interest in Nance, but if he's in, Drummond is the main guy here up top. I'm not really too big on Chetty anymore. Like, he had a few good games. He's looked disengaged the last 2, so I'm not too high on Chetty. Someone else here, Dotson. I think Thomas mentioned him. Dotson's just too expensive for me. He's 5K on DK. I think he's 5.2 on FanDuel, so I just don't want to go anywhere near that. I like JaVale McGee though. You got some upside if he's starting for Drummond. Obviously, this game is not going to be locked right away on DK, but this is the first game of the slate on FanDuel, so we should know before the FanDuel lock on Drummond news. So like I said, if he's in, I like him a lot. I like Drummond a lot in cash games for both sites. And then one other guy I want to mention here is Isaac Okoro. He's one of those exercise guys, just runs corner to corner. But he fits on FanDuel at small forward, which is kind of thin. It's a spend down position just because we want to pay up elsewhere. He's 3.5K, the minimum on FanDuel, so I don't mind playing Okoro as my last piece in cash games.
Yep. Some comments. As always, if you guys have comments about the games or anything, we can answer them throughout the show. We also have the dedicated Q&A at the end. Right now, I see one from Hasty. He's saying, Rudy needs to learn how to shoot free throws for $200 million. Maybe he should hire Hasty as his shooting coach.
I mean, yeah, I think historically he's been pretty good, but I think this year he's been pretty bad at the free throw line. I'm just going to pull up his basketball reference page here. Actually, so he was around like 65% the last 4 years. This year he's at 50%, so definitely took a step back. He got that money. I guess he stopped working on the free throws.
Yeah. Okay, let's go into the next one. We have Denver at Brooklyn. Denver's side, we have Whittington, Porter Jr. out for them. Starters, we have Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Barton, Millsap, Jokic. Any interest paying up for Jokic today? Also, Harris has been shooting quite well recently, I believe. I think we had him at like a minimum price tag a few days ago. Now he's at 4.6. Any interest in Harris, or still too shooting dependent for you?
I mean, I feel like you you ask me about Gary Harris every slate. I'm not sure if it's because he has the same name as you or what, but I don't know. Like,
I have good
Gary
memories
Harris
of him doing well before.
Yeah, but he's pretty bad now. Like, it's just I mean he's not bad, but it's not the right situation for him anymore. He's surrounded by high usage guys, so he's one of those exercise guys. Like, if he's hitting his shots, he's fine. If he's not hitting his shots, he's going to get you 7 fantasy points. So definitely not someone I have any interest in today. But like I said at the start of the show, this game is really it's the best game on the slate. Tight spread of 1 favoring Brooklyn, 230 over under, which is the highest on the slate. So with the Nuggets, they're projected to score 115. Not really landing on anyone here in my cash games over on Fanduel. But in tournaments on Fanduel, I like guys like Jokic. He's 11-4, so we're spending up a ton for him. He's had a few down games in the last 2 games, but I'm a big fan of Jokic. I think he always has a ceiling of 70, so definitely in this matchup, I think he can get there. He's a tournament play only for me, though, on FanDuel. And then on DraftKings, I don't mind playing him in cash games. He's 11K. Obviously, we have the Heat guys over there, so a lot more salary to spend up for on DK. So I actually like targeting Jokic in my cash games there. But not too much interest on FanDuel. And then the rest of these guys, just because we know that all the usage goes towards Jokic, or at least most of it. He gets most of the assists and stuff. So the rest of these guys are just going to be tournament plays for me. Whoever's shooting well, whoever's hot from the perimeter is going to be the guy that gets you there. Jamal Murray in tournaments, don't mind that. He's had a couple of down games. I always like a matchup against Brooklyn, though. They always seem to give up like a big game or two, so don't mind Murray in tournaments. Will Barton, same sort of thing. Tournament only for me. Paul Millsap and Gary Harris, probably won't touch them. Maybe if you want to use them as a last piece in cash games, I don't mind it, but I don't see a ceiling for them in tournaments. Same as Monte Morris. Like, he probably has a decent floor of around 20, but I don't see a ceiling for him. So yeah, Just to summarize, Jokic, I really like him in cash games on DK. Love him in tournaments on both sites, and then Murray and Barton, tournament only, both sites.
Some questions, comments in the YouTube chat. We have Thomas Bay saying Gary Harris is so bad, Denver should have kept Malik instead of Harris and Monte Morris.
Yeah, I think Malik Beasley had more value, so that's probably why they made that decision. I also think Gary Harris is a better defender than Malik Beasley, so that's probably also why they probably wanted a good defender around Jokic. I think it makes more sense, actually.
Yeah. Hasty saying Monte is nice, solid point guard as a backup.
Yeah, Hasty hasn't been in the DFS circles for a long time, but whenever Jamal Murray misses games, we always plug in Monte Morris. Like, he's always solid. He's always priced cheap just because he's the backup. So every time Jamal Murray misses a game, he's always in play in our cash games and tournaments. But obviously Jamal's in today, so I don't have any interest.
Yep. Okay. Brooklyn side, we have Kyrie Irving, Claxton, and Johnson out for them. Projected starters right now, we have Karis LeVert, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, Jeff Green, and Jarrett Allen. What do you think of the Nets in this matchup?
So it's kind of hard and surprising that we're not spending up in cash games for Durant today. He's not making my build on either site. He's 10.1K on FanDuel, so that's a little expensive. He's 9.4 on DK, so that's a bit easier to get. But I still prefer guys like Sabonis here. I prefer Curry. Obviously, we'll talk about that game at the end. I don't know. I just like spending up for Sabonis and Curry instead of KD. I obviously have no issues if you want to play KD instead of one of them. So yeah, I love KD in tournaments though, just because he's not making my cash game builds right now. But definitely he has upside for a ceiling game here. Another guy, Karis LeVert, obviously he's 7.9K on FanDuel, so that's a little expensive, but I don't know. I don't mind playing it in my cash games just because shooting guard is pretty thin over on FanDuel. He should play a ton of minutes. He has pretty high usage rate, around 30 in the games he starts. Obviously, he's playing with KD now, so might go down a bit, but he still shot 17 times last game. So I do see a pretty good floor here for Karis LeVert for 7-9 in my FanDuel cash games. Someone else here, Jarrett Allen. just because, as I mentioned earlier, center is kind of thin on FanDuel. 6.8K if you want to pay up there as a last piece, don't mind that. Anyone else here? Not really. I just want to just KD mostly in tournaments for me. Yeah.
All right, I think Brandon called you out for your comment on KD. Maybe you want to touch on that one, Chris?
What did he say?
He said, "Got to spend up for Durant."
And then what?
Psh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather spend up for Sabonis at power forward. Power forward is kind of thin. We have some value guys at small forward like Justin Holiday, Isaac Okoro. So I like spending down at small forward and paying up elsewhere. Also, spending down at small forward opens up the center position. You can spend up there. We don't have much good value, so that's my main reason. Obviously, I do love KD today. 10.1K with no Kyrie is fair on FanDuel. 9.3 or 9.4 on DK is obviously fair as well.
Yep. Hasty says, "And then what? ..
What does that mean?
Not sure. What do you mean, Hasty? You gotta know what you mean there.
Well,
Okay.
it was obviously to something I said, but I'm not sure to what.
Okay, while we get that clarified, we'll jump into the next one. Lakers against Rockets. Let's go over the injury news there. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, Lakers side, we have Davis questionable. Morris probable for them. Matthews is out. James questionable as always. KCP probable. And then starters right now we have Schroeder, KCP, James, Davis, Gasol. Yeah, any interest in the Lakers today in their superstar duo?
No, not really. If one of them is out, obviously I'll like the other one, but right now they're both questionable. They're always both questionable, so that means that most likely they're probably in. If they're both in, I just have no interest here. I'd rather, like I keep saying, I'd rather spend up for other guys like Curry, Drummond at a thin center position. Sabonis is a lock for me. And then obviously KD if you want to go there. I definitely like all those spend ups more than these two. So I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on the Lakers here. You'll get them at low owned. You'll get LeBron at low owned, AD low owned. So in tournaments, I don't hate it, but nothing here for cash games.
Yep. Got confirmation about Hasty. It was about what you said when I read Brandon's comment.
Yeah.
You wanted me to say the last part of Brandon's comment.
What was the last part?
What was it, Chris?
I didn't read it.
You can read too. You have the chat pulled up as well, don't you? I think Chris
Yeah.
actually bought. He has like a second TV right above his monitor. That was for the production of the show. So he's put some money back in here. Like he's reinvesting back into the production quality here. So he definitely has the chat up. He doesn't want to read it. Not sure why. Let's go into Houston then. We have Daniel House out for them. Cousins probable. Wall and Gordon both questionable. Starters for them, we have Wall projected, Harden, Nwaba, Tucker, and Christian Wood. Any interest in the Rockets, Chris?
Yeah, so I guess I can start with Draftkings just because I have less interest there. But we got to wait on this news on John Wall and Eric Gordon. If one of them is out or if both of them are out, Harden becomes a lock. 10.8K on DK, I don't mind that. Especially if Wall is out, it becomes a lock. But if he's in, probably don't want to spend up 10-8 if Wall is in. Christian Wood, he's been all right. Obviously, Boogie in kind of hurts him, so not too much interest there. But on FanDuel, I have a lot more interest. I think Harden is a great play today. Might be a little bit different, but he's 10.4K. It's the lowest price tag we've seen on Harden in years. Like he's usually around 11K, 11.5K. So we're getting a really big discount here in a game versus the Lakers. I assume it's on national TV. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, so this game is on NBA TV. Not a big network, but still national TV game against the Lakers here. I expect Harden to perform. If you're looking at the game log, it hasn't been too pretty. He's been hovering around the 40 fantasy point range, but I think you get the upside with Wall out here. He's questionable. If I had to make a make a pick on if Wall will play or not, I'm kind of leaning that he's going to be out today, just because I think they want to be cautious with him. So
Yeah.
I do like Harden a lot in my cash games on FanDuel. 10.4K really works for me. That's probably it on the Houston side. Like, it's the same sort of thing as Denver. Like, they have their big high usage guy. Obviously, someone else here could get there with the ceiling game, but on most nights, it's just going to be Harden producing most of the fantasy points, and then maybe one random guy like Wood, Gordon, David Nwaba, Boogie Cousins getting there with the ceiling game. But it's hard to predict, so I'll just stick with Harden in my cash games.
Yeah, about Harden. Last time I saw Hasty, he said that Harden looks a little different this year. Like, he's not as, I think, aggressive. Like, he's not chucking as much or like ISOing as much. I haven't watched Houston too closely this year, but any comment on that, Chris?
I mean, yeah. So in the last couple of games, I agree. But he had the first couple of games without John Wall. He looked like old Harden. His usage was around 35, 38%. In the last 4 games, it's been around 22%, which is super low. With James Harden, I don't expect that to continue. He's been playing 38 minutes as well, so that's really nice. Yeah, so that's why it works. And then Ryan also says, Tucker at 3,900, or is he bad for DFS, threes and boards? He will play lots. The main thing with Tucker is he's one of those guys that's just out there to get exercise. Like, if the ball gets kicked out to him in the corner, he can hit a few, but he's not going to give you a ceiling. His floor isn't great either. Like, he can just stand in the corner and play solid defense without picking up any stats. He kind of defers his rebounds. He lets Harden get them. He lets Wood get them. He lets Wall get them. So he's more of a glue guy in real life. Definitely not someone we have too much interest here in DFS.
Yep. Hasty saying Harden's going to show up for LA today. I think you kind of said that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into the next one. We have the Spurs against the Thunder. Let me load that up. Okay, we're good. Okay. On the San Antonio side, we have DeMar DeRozan, Debo out for them. Vassell back in, or marked as in. Eubanks out. Bates Diop out for them as well. Starters right now, we have Murray, Walker, Johnson, Lyles, and Aldridge. Any interest in the Spurs against the Thunder, Chris? Before we do that, actually, Trigger is saying strip clubs closed in LA. So I think that's about Harden for sure. I think last time we had the strip club analysis from you about a city. What do you make of this, Chris?
Yeah, so I don't know. It's tough to decipher this news. We don't know if this is a positive for Harden. We don't know if this is a negative. So I don't know. It's hard to put something on that.
Okay. Okay, back to the Spurs. Got their starters out, got their news out. Any interest in the Spurs, Chris?
Yeah, so obviously DeMar is out, so that means we do have interest. DeJounte Murray, he's looking like a really good play. He's 7.5K over on FanDuel, 7.2K on DK, so I like that price tag on both sites. Derek White is obviously out as well, so that helps with Murray's minutes. I really like him. He fits a little better over on FanDuel just because on DK it's stars and scrubs. We probably want 4 to 5 Heat guys, and then we'll just spend up with the rest. So I like him on FanDuel more, 7.5K at point guard. Obviously, we don't have the Heat value there, so yeah, I like Murray a lot. Rudy Gay is someone else I don't mind. More of a FanDuel play as well, 4.5K at small forward, which I was saying small forward is kind of thin, so if you want to play Rudy Gay for 4.5K, I don't mind that. Probably more of a cash play. I don't really see a ceiling there just because Keldon Johnson is in front of him. Keldon Johnson in tournaments, I don't mind that. And then last guy here I'll touch on, actually 2 more. Lamarcus Aldridge, obviously. He gets a bump with DeRozan out. Played pretty well last time out. Played 36 minutes, which was a season high. Got 38 fantasy points, so that was pretty nice. 21 shots last game. So that's definitely trending upwards. And then last guy, Trey Lyles, 3.6K on FanDuel. He started last time for DeRozan, actually, so probably I expect that to be the case today as well. So if you want to play him at power forward 2 on Fanduel, I don't hate that. But most of these guys, as I've mentioned, are more Fanduel plays just because we don't need their value on DraftKings with the Heat guys. But on Fanduel, we kind of do.
Yep. Comments in the chat. Hasty loves the strip club report. Hasty wants to sponsor that Vegas trip as well. Mike Weaver saying, I got 70% hardened in my lines for GPP. Is that too much?
I don't know. I kind of like it. I think some people will see the game log and they'll want to go away from that, but you got a ton of upside here with Wall being questionable. If Wall is out, you're probably like you're paying 2K less than you should for Harden if Wall is out. Like he should be around 12K. And if Wall is in, you're paying a fair price for him, 10.4K. He's not around like 11.5 anymore, so we probably only need around 50, 55 from him. I think he gets that most nights here in this matchup with LA.
Yep. Brandon is saying Harden can literally open the strip club if he wants.
Yeah, he has that power.
Yep. Hasty saying LMA is back. Trigger says Lonnie Walker gets buckets, and then Hasty follow up to that. Back to the haircuts. Substitute teacher. He sees a lot of hair. He says that haircut makes all the difference.
Yeah, so I played Lonnie Walker last time. He put up like 22 real life points in the first half. He was just hitting everything. Second half, he came back down to earth. He got like 3 points, ended up with like 5 extra fantasy points in that second half. So he's kind of, I don't know, if he gets hot again, obviously he'll crush, but I don't really want to rely on it. Also, he was landing kind of weird. He got some cramps or something, so I think he's listed as probable right now. So I don't know. Like I don't have too much interest in Lonnie today.
Okay. Henry Gold in the YouTube is asking DeJounte Murray or Jamal Murray, DK GPP. Oh yeah, by the way, good job there. Always try to mention the site you're playing on and if it's cash or tournament format. That always helps. So good job. Shout out to Henry.
Yeah, so it depends. If it's like a single entry or low contest size, then I like DeJounte Murray. If it's like the big GPP where you want the lower owned guy with more upside at lower ownership, definitely Jamal Murray.
Okay. Got a pitter patter when you land from Thomas Bay. Yeah, Thomas definitely should become a physiotherapist. Like he never gets hurt playing basketball. Like he's been playing sports his whole life, not a single injury. There was one time like a scare we had. Thought he tore his like ACL, but it was just cramps. Just nasty cramps. But yeah, Thomas knows his injuries. Got a pitter patter when you land for sure. Okay. Let's go over OKC. Ty Jerome out for them. Starters, we have SGA, George Hill, Dort, Baisley, Horford. Any interest in the Thunder today, Chris?
So on this Thunder side, main guy here I'll talk about is SGA. He looked really good last game. He's had a good stretch of 3 games. They haven't been blown out recently. This spread is tight today. It's the tightest on the slate, 2.5 favoring the Spurs, so I expect it to be tight. So yeah, I have a lot of interest in SGA in tournaments. I don't have much in cash games. Maybe on DK, he's 8K. I don't hate that price as a last piece if you want to spend up, but I think we can spend up for other guys. He's probably he'll be my tournament play of the day. Yeah, so I really like SGA in tournaments, not too much in cash games. Al Horford is 5.5K on FanDuel. I don't mind that if you want to do that at center. I think I mentioned it last time. Like, he's not going to kill you. He's not going to break a slate for you. Like, he's always going to get you 25 to 30. So if you just want a safe play in cash games, I don't hate Al Horford. Yeah, but that probably does it. Maybe last guy I'll talk about here is Dort. 4.3K over on FanDuel. I don't hate that price tag if you want to spend down at shooting guard. Just more of a last piece option there in cash games. Not really interested in Hamidou Diallo today. He got priced up because of his big games, so yeah, I don't really want to pay that much for Diallo.
Yep. Trigger saying SGA fade of the day.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to be too high owned, so I don't see a reason to fade him completely.
Okay, and then I think that's all the chat here. We have one more from Hasty. Horford, solid vet. He says that. Then Hasty also says Dort has big upside.
A big upside?
Yeah, from Hasty.
I mean, maybe if he gets like 3 steals, 3 blocks, but if you're looking at his game log, it's not too pretty.
Yep. Okay, let's go into the next and last game, Indiana at Golden State. There's an apology in the chat for you, Chris. While I load that up, do you want to address that one?
I think it has to do with me saying I like SGA. I think Trigger's feeling sorry for me for liking SGA.
Okay. Okay, last game here. We have Indiana Golden State. Indiana side, we have Goga out for them, the guy you say never to name. McConnell out. Oladipo doubtful. I think that's all the notable news there. Starters, we have Brogdon, Holiday again. Both Holidays in there, Sabonis and Turner. I have a feeling Hasty's going to say something about the Holiday brothers today. Yeah, any interest outside? I know you like Brogdon, Sabonis, of course, cover boys here, but any interest in the Holiday brothers?
Yeah, I have a ton of interest here. This is my favorite team to target on the Fanduel slate. Obviously, the Heat are my favorite on DK. The Pacers are my second favorite on DK. So we know Oladipo is likely to be out today. I think they said he was going to sit out the second half of the back-to-back, so that means Aaron Holiday will jump in for him. TJ McConnell is also out, so Aaron Holiday should see a ton of minutes here. Great matchup against the Warriors, so I love Aaron Holiday today. He's a lock for me on both sites. Whenever we get him this cheap in this spot with no Oladipo and no McConnell, which is a plus, we always lock him in. So love Aaron Holiday today. Justin Holiday, he's a Fanduel play for me. He's currently in my cash lineup as well, so I do have the Holiday Bros. I kind of wish Drew was playing so I could jam in the trio. Maybe unlock something there like Exodia or something for any Yu-Gi-Oh fans. But yeah, I like Justin Holiday at 4.5K at a pretty thin small forward position. And then another value guy here that Henry doesn't like is Doug McDermott, 3.7K on FanDuel. So that price tag really stands out for me. I think he played really well last game yesterday, 29 minutes, put up 30 fantasy points. He's pretty scoring reliant, but power forward on FanDuel, we don't have the Heat obviously for value, so I don't mind it there. It's probably a decision between him and Trey Lyles. I probably lean Doug McDermott, but yeah, I mean I don't love playing it, of course, but he makes the lineups work. And then the main two guys here obviously are Sabonis and Brogdon. I'll touch on Brogdon first. Don't like him as much as Sabonis here tonight, but I do like him a lot. He's not finding his way into my cash builds right now, but I do think he has a lot of upside, and he has a pretty safe floor. So if you want to spend up for Brogdon at point guard, definitely don't mind that in cash games. Love him in GPPs as well. And then Sabonis, obviously, he's a lock for me on both sites. The reason I have both Brogdon and Sabonis in the thumbnail is because I couldn't find a good picture of just Sabonis, so I had to get them both in there. But yeah, Sabonis 9.2K on FanDuel, 9.3 on DK. We project them for over 50 fantasy points on both sites, so I love Sabonis today, both formats. Yeah, that pretty much does it for this team. A lot of interest here in this matchup against the Warriors.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of interest. Hasty's saying Holidays over the Balls, best bros in the NBA. Comment on that. I feel like definitely that's like a Hasty take there.
Yeah, I mean, we had the Gasol brothers before. We still have the Lopez brothers. The Giannis, Thanasis, Kostas brothers, Antetokounmpo, obviously.
Thanasis is a thug, for the record. Reckless, completely reckless out there on the court.
I would have to say my favorite brothers are the Curry brothers, Steph and Seth, obviously. So, yeah, but I definitely don't mind that take where the Holidays are greater than the Balls.
I would like the Siakam brothers. I think one of them's in the G League or something. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, Siakam brothers would be my favorite if we had one more in the NBA. That'd be nice. We can get him in. Like we have Thanasis in the NBA. I'm pretty sure we can get another Siakam in the NBA. Trigger saying Steph Curry revenge. He's pissed. Hasty says Steph on a remember tour. I think did you mention the Plumlee brothers? Trigger saying Plumlee brothers.
Yep.
Yeah. Ariane saying balls. He likes the balls.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Not much I could say there.
Okay, next up we have Golden State here. News. No new news there. Nothing marked down. We have starters Curry, Oubre, Wiggins, Green, and James Wiseman. Any interest in the Warriors, Chris?
Yeah, so I love the Warriors here today, but most of the interest comes from Steph Curry. I actually rostered him last time out against the Raptors. The Raptors always seem to shut him down, so if you see that down game, I think it's more of how the Raptors played their defensive scheme around him. Freddie always seems to cover him well, so it was honestly probably the worst game I've ever seen from Steph Curry. He shot 2 for 16, played 38 minutes, which was really nice. So I really like that. We can look at that today. He should see a ton of minutes here. He's 9.8K on DK. I love that. I love that price tag. I love the matchup. So I love spending up for Steph today. Prefer him over KD. So yeah, he's a cash lock for me on DK. Not as much on Fanduel, just because, as I've been mentioning, we don't have that heat value, so it's a little hard to get there. You probably have to spend down at center if you want to do it. So I don't know. I kind of like paying up for Drummond. But yes, I love Steph today. Draymond Green, he looked really good last game out too. Almost got triple-double. 5.7K on Fanduel. Don't mind that. 5.6 on DK. Don't mind that either. More of a last piece, not someone I want to jam in. And then let's touch on James Wiseman. 4.7K on Fanduel, 4.4 on DK. I mean, if this guy gets his minutes up, if he stops fouling so much, I think that he can have a really good game here. Indiana plays pretty big as well, so it should fit for him. His minutes have been in the teens. If he gets like 28 somehow, maybe even 24, 26, he should crush this price tag. So I like him a lot in tournaments. And then Wiggins and Oubre, I don't know. I don't really want to touch them. You can use them as last pieces in cash games, but I don't see a ceiling from either of them with Steph Curry playing.
Yeah, about Oubre, Trigger saying he's going to hit a 3 today. Hasty's wondering over/under on that.
I mean, yeah, he's been awful. But yeah, I probably think he hits a 1-3 or 2 threes today.
Yeah. Hasty said this earlier in the show, bringing it up again because it's important. Sabonis is going to eat on Wiseman.
Yep, I got Sabonis locked in on both sides, so I definitely love him today.
Yeah, I'll just preemptively lock them for you here. Okay, I think that's it. We can do our next segment. Core plays of the day. Before we do that, I'm not going to say it, but I will say it. Housekeeping. Be sure to like the video. That helps us out a lot with people finding our content. So if you haven't done that, do that. It helps a lot. We appreciate it a lot. Other than that, also hit the subscribe, hit the bell button, hit all, so you stay notified, so you get all this content. You never forget it. You never miss it. It's definitely solid, important content. Chris says himself, like, he's a mid to high stakes player, so it's not just like random DFS filler content. Like it's content, it's analysis, it's all that stuff. Like, he actually uses this stuff for his own, like, he puts his money where his mouth is. So he definitely, like, all the advice here you get is definitely very, very solid. That's why it's mostly him talking about it, not as much me. I stick to my tournaments. Last thing here, I guess you can go back on that one after I finish this. If you guys like the projections we're using, if you're interested in trying out our optimizer, if you want to join our Discord community, be sure to check it out. It's at dfscrunch.com. There's a 3-day free trial for anyone who hasn't signed up before. We have monthly at 75, weekly at 25. There's also yearly if you're into that. Lots of sports, NHL starting up. Great projections on all sports. UFC hopefully soon. I think soon.
This Saturday.
Saturday, so really soon. Lots of ways to make money here, lots of ways to get better at DFS, lots of content. So it's definitely a great place to hang out. We're always improving everything. So definitely a great community to get in on and grow your bankroll and have fun while you're doing it.
So I wanted to add on, once we reach 100 subs on YouTube, we're giving away a monthly pass. We can probably add like 2 or 3 weekly passes to that giveaway. And there's one other thing I want to do, like maybe every day, like if you guys think you can predict someone's stat line, like points, rebounds, assists, put it in the comments below, and then we'll give away a monthly pass to anyone who gets it right. It's obviously hard to do, that's why we'll do a month. So if you guys have a prediction on a stat line for any player today, put the points, rebounds, assists below in the comments, and if it hits, we'll give you a free month.
I think Chris just like increased our production budget requirements there, because someone's gonna have to jot down all those stat lines, jot down the names, and then get back to everyone tomorrow. So Chris is definitely upping our production budget here day by day. So
it's only in the comments, not in the live chat. Just in the comments, just so we can see it at the end of the night.
Oh, comments.
I'll go through them. Yeah, so in the comments below, not in the live chat. But yeah, we'll give away a month if you get that. We can give some leeway, like plus or minus 1 point, plus or minus 1 rebound, plus or minus 1 assist. But yeah, that's all you get.
So are we just doing points, rebounds, assists, no blocks, no steals?
No, that would be way too hard.
And what if it's like a guy who's off the bench, like, you know, someone gets like 1 minute and he's like
0-0-0. Obviously can't be 0-0-0.
How about the guy has to play like over 10 minutes or something? Like, what should we say? 20?
No, it can be anything. It just can't be 0-0-0.
All right. So I guess you have to do that after the show ends then, right? With the VOD? If you just
you can do it now. It's just in the comments below.
Oh, I didn't know you could leave comments while it's live. I'm not sure if you can.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Before we do the core plays chat, 2 of 8 from 3 for Oubre from Trigger. Mike Weaver's asking no Turner.
Miles Turner, I'm not sure what you're asking. If you're asking about him in tournaments, I like him in tournaments, but I don't love him in cash games, no. And then I can go through these. Josh says Joe Harris, Lonnie Walker, or Justin Holiday. If that's a cash game, I'll go with Justin Holiday. If it's a tournament, let's go with Joe Harris. Clement says, y'all guy, very helpful. Thanks. Yeah, we appreciate you. You're always in here, so definitely appreciate that. Hasty says, so much fun, boys. Thank you, Hasty. Barrett Kapler says, just say it has to be a starter.
I like that.
I mean, like, no, I don't think so. Like, it could be someone off the bench. It just can't be 0-0-0. I don't want to add too many rules. But yeah, can't be 0-0-0. Yeah.
All right. Also, shout out to Clement. He's also a member, Cruncher, part-time Cruncher, full-time results. So shout out to him as well. Let's go over FanDuel first, Chris. Well, actually, we got more news in our chat. See, it's a great community. You get like the beat writers all in the live chat before you get on Twitter. That's always good. Henry's saying Gary Harris questionable now.
Yeah, I mean, if he's out, it probably doesn't change too much for me, but I don't know. Like, we'll have to wait and see.
All right. One other question I see here. Josh is asking, should I avoid Schroeder?
Yeah, I have no interest in him today. Like, if you're on DK, we can spend down for Heat guys that give us more value, and then we can spend up for guys like Curry, guys like DeJounte Murray, and then on FanDuel, just you don't need it. Like, I'd rather go up to Karis LeVert, Harden, guys like that. If you want to spend down at shooting guard on FanDuel, you can go down to Dort. But I don't love the mid range there.
Yeah. Myers Leonard out as well. Bam is out. Wait. Actually, wait. Oh, that's for Saturday. Okay. Yeah, Myers Leonard out, Chris.
Yeah, so that's pretty big. They only have 8 available guys now. Hero, Robinson, Iggy, Kellyo, Precious, Gabe Vincent, Chris Silva, Max Struss. Never heard of him. But yeah, this bumps up Precious a lot. Bumps up Kellyo. They're kind of thin in the front court. I don't love Chris Silva. I'm not sure what position Max Struss plays. Hasty probably knows. Kind of sounds like a college player. Maybe you can just let's give him a Google. Let's see if he's a Hasty player. Garry on the screen.
What's the
His
name?
name is Max, and then last name is Strus.
STRUS.
Oh yeah, this definitely looks like the prototypical Hasty player. Yeah, Hasty definitely knows this guy. Do you know this Hasty? Do you know Max Struss?
We can probably get a stat line out of Hasty for this guy. That's how well.
I think Henry knows him. He says DePaul, dude. I mean, if I'm being honest, I've never even heard of DePaul, so it's kind of impressive that you know that. Trigger says starters might play 48. Yeah, that's true. He's a grinder. We usually don't like the grinders in DFS. High basketball IQ doesn't really translate to DFS production for us either. Struss can shoot, says Hasty. Hard worker. Struss is going to be a huge player.
We're getting a lot of Struss love right now.
He has these intangibles. Doesn't sound like any of this stuff translates to DFS. He's probably a solid glue guy. I'll say that much. Yeah, solid team player.
we gotta ask Trigger. Is he gifted? Is he a gifted athlete?
Trigger's saying lock him in. AC's saying he's gonna defer. So Peter's saying stress season. I don't know. This guy doesn't seem to have it for me.
Yeah. Let's see his stat line here. 3 minutes.
He's more than gifted. Top 20 play. We're getting a lot of Struss love. If you find me with Struss in my lineup, I probably have to quit DFS. We'll have to see if he's starting, but I don't know. I don't expect him to. Like, if just back on a serious note, this just helps guys like Hero. Hero's probably going to play like 44 minutes. Duncan Robinson as well. Iggy probably 34 at least. So I like him a lot. Kellyo as well. Precious. So they have a solid group of 5. I probably don't expect Struss to play more than 24 minutes, but who knows?
Yeah. Trigger, last comment on Struss. More than gifted, 50-point upside, blessed from God. One other thing I saw here, Clement is actually participating in the chat and watching this show while driving, so that's why his grammar was a little off. That's kind of impressive. Safety first, though. Have your seatbelt on. Pay attention to the road. Make sure you do that. Okay, who's your core plays on Fanduel? Let's do that first. I already have Sabonis in. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Obviously, Sabonis. He's a lock for me. He's too cheap. We project him for 50 plus. Usually, you don't get a 9K player who projects for 50 plus, so that's an easy play for me. Next up, we can go back to point guard. I like Malcolm Brogdon a lot. He's 8.4K. Obviously, no Oladipo, or we don't expect Oladipo to play today. No TJ McConnell, so I like Brogdon a lot. Yeah. And then let's go next up. Let's go with Justin Holiday. Small forward, as I kept saying, is a really thin position. So 4.5K, definitely don't mind that at small forward as a cash game play. That's 3, right? 3 Pacers.
Yep.
Let's go with. Let's see here. Let's go with Doug McDermott. Let's complete the Pacer quadro here. Not sure if that's a word, but 4 Pacers. Yeah, these guys are just in cash games. This is what you want. You want solid minutes floor. You want a good matchup. You want good salaries. So I like this as my cash game core.
Yep. We got confirmation Embiid, Simmons both playing today, so that's good to see with Simmons.
Yep.
Is this the core here?
Yep.
Okay, I'll double check the settings. Back to the YouTube chat, we have starters will play lots of good minutes. Good core from Miami from Hasty. Trigger saying DK lineup might just be all locks. Josh is saying Justin Holiday is in a large percentage of my lineups. He just keeps popping up.
We also got the teacher here, Hasty, saying it's quartlet. Is that 4 or 5?
No, he didn't have the L. He just has quartet.
I'm pretty sure it's quartet. Maybe he's right. I'm not sure.
I mean, the other night I think you were concerned about parents sending their children to Hasty as a substitute teacher with his grammar. I think it was a little suspect the other night. Gabe Vincent, what do you think of that?
So we gotta wait and see who these Heat guys, who they start. I don't expect Gabe Vincent to start. I expect them to start Hero at the 1, probably Duncan Robinson at the 2, Iggy at the 3, Kelly O at the 4, and then Precious at the 5. So I don't expect Vincent to start. My main interest here comes from the starters, so we'll have to wait and see. It's the first game of the night, so we'll definitely update everyone in the Discord.
Yep. Yeah. Confirmation. Quartet is a group of 4. Yeah. With that said, what do you see here? What do you like? Which ones do you want to click the heart icon on?
So let's get this one with Jokic. Let's get number 3. That one looks solid. And then let's get this Curry one. I really like this Curry one.
What number?
7.
It's like a restaurant menu here. Order not by the name, just by the number. I'll have number 7.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of Chetty in these lineups. Trigga says, "Uh-oh, Chetty season."
Wait,
so
we didn't hear Trigger's opinion on Chetty today. Actually, haven't heard anything good. Haven't heard anything bad.
I think we actually did. Not sure. Maybe we didn't. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't mind Chetty. I think he's 5.1K. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Well, actually, I think the only thing I heard was you saying you don't like him. You said he looked disengaged.
Yeah, that might have been it. But here are the lineups. My 3 favorite lineups as of now. So Chetty is only in one of these. Actually, he was in a bunch of optimals, but these are my favorite as of now. Obviously, we have Brogdon, our core lock. We have 3 different point guards in each lineup, so we'll go over that when we go over the differences. We have Karis LeVert in every lineup. He wasn't a lock, but I'm good with Karis LeVert here for 7.9K in a good matchup. And then we obviously have 3 different shooting guards in each lineup. Same thing here at small forward. We have Justin Holiday, who is a lock, and then we have 3 different small forwards. And then both of these power forwards were locks for me. We had Sabonis and McDermott, and then 3 different centers. So it's going to be a 4v4. Usually you highlight them, so it's a bit easier to read.
Yeah. Let's do 1 and 2. It's hard to do too many different ones.
It's not LeVert.
Sorry.
Okay, I could just read them. So in the first one, we have George Hill, Lonnie Walker, Chetty Osman, and Jokic versus the second one, which is DeJounte Murray, SGA, Okoro, and Jarrett Allen. So in the first one, we're spending up at Jokic. We're spending up at center, for Jokic. In the second one, it's more mid-range. We get Murray, fair price tag for him. We get SGA, also pretty fair price tag. We get Okoro, who's the spend down. I don't hate it at small forward, which is kind of thin, 3.5K, and then Jarrett Allen, 6'8". I don't mind that, so I'll probably say I like this second one more. I'd rather get a mid-range build here today than pay up for Jokic and have to jam in George Hill and Lonnie Walker. So we can compare the second to the third. In the third one here, we have Curry, Wiggins, Rudy Gay, and Al Horford versus, obviously, DeJounte Murray, SGA, Isaac Okoro, and Jarrett Allen. I don't know. I kind of like this Steph Curry side more. We get more exposure to this great game environment in Golden State with Wiggins and Curry. Don't mind paying 6.6 for Wiggins. He's been pretty active, getting some steals and blocks, shooting the ball a lot. So definitely don't mind that price tag for Wiggins. Rudy Gay, he also has some upside here. Maybe he'll get the start instead of Lyles today. Obviously replacing DeRozan, probably not, but still, even off the bench, I don't mind the 4 or 5 price tag. He's always a good usage guy. We have him at 21% usage right now, so that's pretty high. Like, if you look at the usage row for Okoro, he's only 12%, so 21% for usage is pretty good. If you want to you could just highlight that percentage there, Gary, just so people can see for usage. Rudy Gay is 21.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where you can see usage. And then Al Horford, as I mentioned when I went over the Thunder, just like he's solid. He's not going to kill your lineups. He's never going to make your lineup. He's good for 25 to 30 a night. I don't think he'll get much more, but I'm good with Al Horford. So I definitely like this Steph Curry team here the most.
Yep. Okay, let's go over Draftkings core plays there. YouTube chat. Chetty season. Chetty smash spot. Casey said the Fanduel ones were all pretty different. Trigger has been studying Mcdermott for years. He's freakish. Any comment on that, Chris?
I mean, that's something that, well, yeah, Hasty commented afterwards. He said he produced for Daddy at Creighton, found a good spot in Indiana. Yeah, I think he was kind of struggling. I think he was on the Thunder, maybe another team after that. Definitely a good landing spot in Indiana. Daquan saying Sabonis popping, my goodness, good value at small forward. Yeah, so we project him for over 50 today, so he's only 9K. Usually we get guys priced 10K, 11K for Sabonis. I mean, for 50 fantasy points. So that's why Sabonis is a lock for me today. Yeah, really like him on both sides, both formats. Daquan also says, good value at small forward, easier to pay down there than any other spot, but you can flip the construction on GPPs. Yeah, so you definitely know what you're talking about here. Like, that's spot on. Our value comes from small forward on Fanduel today, so if you want to use that as leverage in tournaments, go up to KD. KD is in a smash spot here. Just because this is how roster construction kind of pans out. I don't expect too many people to have KD, so I love KD in tournaments today. But yeah, that's spot on. Like, easier there to pay down than any other spot, but you can flip the construction in tournaments. So yeah, I love that. Weaver says, I'm getting a lot of Chetty. Yeah, so he's 5.1K. As we just mentioned, small forward is kind of thin. Paying down there kind of makes the rest of your lineup work, so that's why you're getting so much. If you don't like it, you can bump down his projection a bit. You can set a max exposure to him to limit him. Drew says, sorry, I just joined, but not KD on Fanduel. Yeah, so we mentioned that that there's good value at small forward, and the build kind of goes the other way. Trigger says the Greg and Doug McDermott duo was lethal. Hasty said Creighton looks good again this year. I don't know. I'm not a big college guy, so I don't have too many comments on that. But, I mean, the father-son duo never seems to disappoint.
Yeah, we got to get Hasty on here for that March Madness, for sure.
I mean, we know who he's going to like. He's going to like the white boys.
Yeah, that's Hasty. Okay, DraftKings side, core locks there. I think I already have Sabonis and Curry checked there. What do you think of that? Is that right start or no?
Yeah, so Sabonis, I like Sabonis a lot. Curry, he's not a lock for me, I don't think, but he's a really good spend up. He's not a lock just because you can go to KD here, it's easier. But I love Curry. He's in my current lineup. But yeah, we can go over these locks first. Yeah, so Sabonis obviously the first starting point there. Next up we have let's jam in some Heat guys. Like, we're playing probably 5 Heat here today, so let's go with Tyler Hero. He's their main guy. Everything just looks good for him in this spot where they have a bunch of guys missing. Next up, wait 1 sec. Let me just fix this projection real quick. You might have to make Myers Leonard 0 for now. I'm just going to update that in the back end quickly. But yeah, next lock here is going to be Precious. Obviously no Myers Leonard, so that helps a lot. Next up, let's put in another Heat guy. Let's get Duncan Robinson in there. 4.8K just makes a ton of sense. I see no reason to fade it today. Let's see who else here. Let's get another Heat guy in. Kelly Olynyk 5.3K. That stands out for me. And then let's finish the starting lineup here. Let's get Iggy in here. So we got 6 locks today. Sabonis and the rest of these guys. So yeah, I like that.
Okay, let's let that build. You think we can break 20 likes today? I think we're at 17. That'd be like a record. That'd be nice. If you guys haven't liked, be sure to like. See if we can get that. That'd be awesome. Okay, what do you see here, Chris? Obviously, there's only 2 positions here available, but excuse me. What do you see here?
So yeah, this maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can remove some of these Heat guys just because we'll get more builds to compare. I really like all of them. Let's just see who I want to remove. I think we can get more conversation if we do that. So let's remove Iggy. Let's remove Duncan Robinson. And let's keep those other 3 guys. See what that gives us.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. We actually just hit 21 likes. That's awesome. That's nice. Okay, what do you see here, Chris?
So yeah, let's look at this first one. Let's get a KD one in here. So let's get.
Just give me the menu item number.
Third one. Pardon?
Menu item number 1, 3.
Yeah. So the third one. I'm looking for a Brogdon team here. Can you scroll down a little?
The second one's Brogdon. These one's Brogdon.
Yeah, so I like that 9th team a lot. Let's get that one in there. Let's get 10 in there as well. And then let's roll. And Trigger says 13, so let's get 13 in there.
Okay. Here it is. Okay, let's do 1, 2. Olenek.
Yeah, so
No.
We can compare these first 2 teams first, just because they have similar construction with DeJounte Murray and no Steph Curry. So, yeah, so between the first 2, it's just Embiid versus Durant. I'll probably go with... I like Durant here. Embiid's on the back end of a back-to-back. That's my only concern. Obviously, Durant is playing without Irving, so I do like that side more. And then we can compare it to some of these Steph teams. Maybe we can filter out which Steph team is my favorite and then compare the 2. So with these Steph teams, obviously the bottom 3 here, the difference between the 9th team, should I say 4th and 5th, or should I say 9th and 10th?
I'll just go the numbers.
Yeah, so the difference between number 9 and number 10 is Trey Lyles and Andre Iguodala, I believe. I like Trey Lyles there. I expect him to start. Maybe Iggy. They probably don't want to run Iggy into the ground, so that's probably the main concern there. And then if we compare number 9 to number 13, what's the difference between
I think we have
those
KD,
2?
no Sabonis.
We have Sabonis. Sabonis is a lock.
Sorry.
So we have, let's see, we have McDermott in the 9th team, and we have Trey Lyles. I think that's McDermott and Lyles versus Vincent and Iggy, if I'm looking at it properly. Yeah, so I'm on this 9th team with, I'm just gonna say 3rd. It makes a lot more sense. I'm on this 3rd team with McDermott and Trey Lyles. Just, I don't know. I kind of always feel weird when I have too many guys from one team. And if I have solid options elsewhere, I like doing that. That's why I unlocked 2 of these guys. But if you want to play 5, I definitely have no problem with that. They're very thin. Yeah, so I like this Lyles team. I think it's, and then we can actually compare it to the 2nd team here with Durant. So we have, let's see what we have here, Gary. I think we have Murray. We have DeJounte Murray. We have KD. We have Duncan Robinson. And then in the 3rd one, we have Curry. We have Brogdon, and we have Lyles.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so this is the 3v3. Murray. Yeah, let's just do this, and then you can.
Was it Murray, Robinson?
Yep. KD.
And then Curry, Brogdon, and
Lyles.
Okay.
Yeah, so now you can see the differences between the 2nd and 3rd team, 2nd and 3rd lineup. So you spend up for Curry instead of KD in the 3rd one. I prefer going up to Curry, so that's something I like here. You also get Brogdon over Murray, so I love that. The only thing that's worse is obviously Robinson. You don't get Robinson, you get Trey Lyles instead. I still like getting Curry and Brogdon in that elite game environment. I'd rather go to them than go to DeJounte Murray and KD. So I think this Curry team, the 3rd one, is my favorite.
Okay. Some chat comments, questions. DK filled with value tonight from Daquan.
Yep.
Yep. Hasty
Casey
saying,
says, yeah, Durant greater than Embiid. Yeah, I'm with that. Tournament fade GPP. We'll go over our fades of the day
both sides.
after this. Yeah, as you said. Yeah,
I think-
so I think we can just get into that now because we're done with the core plays. We're done with the lineup review.
Yep. Okay. So let's do core play Fanduel first. Who's your favorite must play today over there?
It's just Sabonis. Like, it's Sabonis on both sites. He's just too cheap. They have a few guys missing. Even though they're guards, it still helps him. He's just a beast. Really good matchup against the Warriors. So I love Sabonis today.
Okay, who's your let's go tournament play of the day, GPP play of the day on Fanduel first.
Let's go with James Harden. He's 10.4K. You get some upside if what's his name is out. John Wall. He's questionable right now. So, and I think that John Wall sits this game. So I love Harden in tournaments. You're getting a super depressed price tag on him. So yeah, I like that a lot on FanDuel as my tournament play of the day.
Okay, who's your favorite tournament play of the day on DraftKings?
Let's go with Ben Simmons. He's obviously coming back from the knee injury. He's not on the back end of a back-to-back today just because he didn't play yesterday. Obviously, he's 8.9K. I don't really see too many people spending up for him. They'd rather go to Brogdon, go up to Curry, go up to KD. So I like Simmons a lot in my DraftKings tournaments today.
All right. Next up, we have value play of the day. I always ask this: is it value, just overall value, or cash value, tournament value, any value?
So this is overall value. You can jam him into your cash lineup. He's going to be chalky there. You can jam him into your tournament lineup. He's not going to kill you. He has upside, and he's just a solid play. He's going to be high owned, but still solid play.
Who is he?
On FanDuel?
Yeah.
I mean, I was just saying he. Like I was just going over.
Yeah, I know. I was asking you. Thought you set me up to ask you who it was.
Yeah. So I'm between two players here with Justin Holiday and Doug McDermott on FanDuel. Let's go with Justin Holiday. I think he has some upside here if he's hitting his shots. Really good matchup, obviously. He's not as scoring reliant as McDermott, so yeah, I'll go with Justin Holiday at 4.5K.
Okay, and then on DraftKings, who is that guy there? Who's your value play of the day on DraftKings?
So on DraftKings, like I want to say like 4 or 5 guys, or I want to say the Heat guys. So if I could, I would just say Heat, but if I had to pick one, I'll pick 2 actually. Let's go with Precious, and let's go with Kellyo. Kellyo is actually 5.3K, so maybe not considered value. Let's go with Precious. He's 3.1K, just an easy lock there.
Okay, last but not least, fade of the day, FanDuel tournament fade of the day. You always put the disclaimer out there. This can be a guy that you might have in all your cash lineups, but
be a guy that, it's always going to be a guy that I have in all my cash lineups. Usually this guy I'm fading him in my tournaments just to kind of switch up construction. So today I'll go with Karis LeVert. I think he's going to be pretty popular at shooting guard on FanDuel, just because it's kind of thin. I think he's going to be a popular cash play, as I said, but I'll fade him in tournaments. That price tag is just where it should be. We have him projected for exactly 5x, so that's a really good price for him. Definitely ways that he gets under 39 here. So yeah, I'll fade LeVert in my tournaments today.
Okay, and then over on DraftKings, who's that guy? Who's your fade of the day over there?
DraftKings is a little tougher just because we have all this obvious value and then we have obvious spend ups. Let's see here. Let's go with Steph Curry. Like you can switch Steph Curry to KD easily. Maybe the Pacers see something that the Raptors saw and they guard Curry the same way that the Raptors did. He'll have another down shooting night. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to have him in my cash lineups, but in tournaments, I think you can get away with fading Steph Curry today.
All right. I think that is it. If you guys have any last questions about anything, we can answer those. If not, we'll be in the Discord leading up to lock. So we'll have that. Daquan's asking favorite Fanduel center for tournaments. Good question. Nicely formatted. We can go over it.
Yeah, I think most people will go in the mid-range to Al Horford, maybe a little bit more to Jarrett Allen. But I think Al Horford will be the most popular. So I like spending up at center in tournaments. Jokic, I assume he's going to go super under-owned just because construction doesn't really fit that way. So I'll say Jokic. Yeah, I'll go with Jokic.
Okay. I think that's everything. Daquan said he's leaning Allen.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jokic just because I think he has a ceiling of 70. I think he has a realistic chance to get there tonight. Even I love the matchup against Brooklyn. So I like Jokic, but I have no problems with Jarrett Allen.
Yep. Okay. I think that's it then for today. So in my head now, because I can't say housekeeping, you got me, Chris, but let's just do that. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Helps us out a lot with people finding our content, so that's something you can do. It helps us a lot. We do this every day, so do that. Other thing, hit subscribe, hit bell button, hit all, so you get notifications, so you stay notified, up to date with all of our content 2.5 hours before main slate each and every day, even holidays. No days off here at DFS Crunch, so be sure to do that. Last thing here, if you like the optimizer that you saw, if you like our projections and you want to use that yourself for your multi-entry, for your cash, for whatever, we have every sport, FanDuel, DraftKings, every main sport, even like niche sports as well. You can check us out at dfscrunch.com. If you've never subscribed, there's a 3-day free trial, and you can get yourself a weekly package at $25 a week or $75 a month after that trial. You'd also get access to our Discord, which we don't show during the show, but that's where we, answer more questions after the show leading up to the lock, help people use our tool, all that sort of stuff. So great place to be. Lots of sports, lots of value. Part-time DFS at dfscrunch.com. If you guys join, you can go part-time DFS, get full-time results. It's a good thing. Always love that. I think that's everything. Any last words from you, Chris, for today?
Yeah, so hopefully everyone has a good slate today. Hopefully no blowouts like yesterday. We'll be live tomorrow 2.5 hours before lock, just like we always are. Hopefully everyone has a good night.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys tomorrow, and good luck.